mixin', fixin' for another big game. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see running back Joe Mixon coming off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their now 30-year-old quarterback, Cam Newton, MVP of the league back in 2015.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
They run it here with Thompson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And one of the guys to watch out for out of this group is the man on the outside, Keenan Allen.
His versatility, able to play outside the numbers, come back inside to the slot. In any case, you've got to find ways to get him the ball.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Newton now to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Open man, it's Allen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give them a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Thompson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State. It's Phillip Rivers.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Rivers. This will be caught by Brown. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
And I think the entire league benefited when Andrew Whitworth made the decision to come back for his 13th NFL season. Still one of the best offensive tackles in the game. 4 Pro Bowls, 2 times first-team All-Pro. He's now 10th among active players in the NFL in games started.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now Joe Mixon. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The numbers for Mixon last week, well into the triple digits, and they'll take that every time out.
What I loved was just how decisive he was running the football. Coaches like guys that go north and south. They don't like the east-west guys, the juking and the jiving. 1 foot in the ground and cut.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
Well, I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Gets it into the hands of Allen on the jet sweep. They find some open field here. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, but now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Newton. He can run for it, and he will. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So on fourth down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And a week ago, as you get a look at the numbers, well over 100 yards, he was on fire.
He was on fire. Obviously, the offensive line was on fire. All the guys who were trying to assist him. But you know who else was? The play caller. Because his ego totally got out of the way, and he kept calling the plays that were working over and over, and they really didn't stop him.
Now the challenge, can they duplicate it? It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Rivers on the money, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Mixon with a first down carry. The tackle that time by William Hayes. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Rivers. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. To throw on 3rd down. Newton, incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They could put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here's Johnny Hecker now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Now Cobb to return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Breida. A gain of 3, second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Newton. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. On third down, Newton. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. The pass to Brown as he holds it in. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Mixon.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And off the deflection, it's caught. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On the delay, it's Mixon. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. On third down, Mixon. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On play action, Rivers. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he fires one, but incomplete.
everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Newton. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Newton on 3rd down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack by Brandon Graham. He's been doing that since he entered the league in 2010.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. And the good news, his team's winning. And the bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. On 2nd down now, Mixon trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Rivers to throw it. And able to find John Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
Now they run with Mixon. James Bradbury there to make the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. This is Mixon, and he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing, Rivers, and he finds his target. It's Sharp. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted but it winds up falling incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, but it'll be second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Woods will say he should have had it, and now it's third down. To throw, Rivers. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up fourth.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an en route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
This is fielded at the goal line. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
A good pickup there, a 22. First down now, but that clock rolling. Newton now to throw. That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. To throw again on second down. Newton. This is the tight end, Njoku. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. He'll buy some time right, and now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Newton. Allen's got it complete. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. Block the team. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Mixon will get it to start the second half. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Rivers. And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
180, 190. Let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball. 36.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or 2 short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake here, Rivers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Rivers. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now following the interception, here's Newton. Caught by Allen. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Newton, he's got Allen. They fake the give. Newton. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat. But they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Well, let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. From the 27, Rivers, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, DJ Hayden. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football, because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. He has to sort of pick himself up off the mat now, Charles. They were winning at halftime, now losing it. He's not playing well.
Sometimes you get into a position where you get a little bit too greedy. You feel great about how you're playing. Good first half. Hey, I can do even more in the second half. And then you make throws that you're not supposed to. As you said, he's got to start to turn things around.
See if he can erase those 2 third-quarter interceptions from his mind.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
And he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Play fake. Rivers. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Rivers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Rivers on the money, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
59, round 80. I got you. Showing it.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Mixon. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On play action, Rivers. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Third and goal for Rivers. And he's got it. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Lions have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. Maher able to put this one through. And the lead is cut to 2 now. It's 15-13. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, Isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision. Let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
Ready? 780. Rip left, rip left.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. On 1st down, Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
On 2nd down, Mixon, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Rivers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they only had a yard to go. They try to pass the football. Defense blitz. Defense got there.
Yeah, I think on this one, this is probably good scouting, understanding a few tendencies and figuring out that, hey, they may take a shot, and they dialed up the pressure and got to him.
Now Brett Maher for the field goal try. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. The kick by Maher is good. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. It's his 3rd field goal now with the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, Newton. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, David Njoku, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Watch
Second and 10. Newton again. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's first and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A shotgun snap for Newton. Rolling to his right, and he's going to keep it here. Past the 20, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
From the red zone now, Newton. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll turn to Thompson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Chris Thompson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. From the gun, here's Newton. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Rivers to throw it. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Rivers. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. Here's Johnny Hacker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Get in the weight room.
Newton to throw. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games for the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. Newton. He'll buy some time right. He'll run it and avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Cam fakes the give and keeps it. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And he's got it complete to Anderson. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Newton now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. That throw into the arms of Allen. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
Ready? 25 to Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now Newton on 1st down. Allen's got it complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Throwing again is Newton. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. And he's brought down. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the 1st.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run with Breida. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Second down and goal. Newton. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack. Taken down at the 2. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So they were stopped trying to run the ball on first down. Now they take a sack on second down. The offensive coordinator's got to find a way to flip the script on the defensive coordinator because right now the defense has the advantage.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now Newton toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Prater's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Rivers. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Got some room at the 30, and Woods has it complete. And he's going to get this all the way up to the 30-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Newton on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton, he's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. He's got the connection to Cooper. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's Tressway now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Able to slither by. Rivers gets set to lead this offense. Down by 8, 1:44 to go. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Rivers has been through this many times as he'll hustle his guys to the line. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. A draw play for Mixon. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Back to throw. And that's incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch it in that spot.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to... Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
The Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Detroit, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.